When the man known as DP was 5 years old, he was sexually abused by Father Bryan Coffey at his parents' home at Port Fairy in Victoria. In 2021, he successfully sued the Catholic Diocese of Ballarat, arguing it was vicariously liable for the pedophile's actions. The diocese launched an appeal in the High Court and won.
The ultimate message received from the Australian judicial system is that, yes, you were abused. Yes, it was with respect to a convicted pedophile, but there is no legal remedy for you.
The High Court found the diocese was not liable because Coffey wasn't an employee.
Institutions have a reputation for avoiding accountability at all costs and prioritising their own interests, their own financial interests, over the healing, over the justice of victim survivors.
Grace Tame says the judgment wound back progress made by the Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse.
Many survivors were directed to the civil courts as a pathway to seeking justice.
Now Grace Tame and DP have joined forces, campaigning for every state and territory to change their vicarious liability legislation. They want it to be retrospective and include people who are akin to employees, such as volunteers. In a statement, DP described his case as draining and devastating. He said if governments don't change the law, other victim survivors will lie down and have to take the injustice. A woman the ABC is calling Deb was also sexually abused by Coffey when she was 11 and had to settle her case against the diocese out of court.
It was astounding because I sat in the boardroom at Ballarat with Bishop Bird and he said, our cause is compassion and charity. And I went, no, it's not. It's not. You can't say that when you just did that to thousands of people, thousands.
Some changes are starting to be made. The ACT has overhauled its law. A bill is being passed in Victoria, and the Western Australia government says recently introduced legislation is a first step. The other states and the Northern Territory say they will continue to consider further reforms.
It is appalling that the rest of the states are just dragging their heels.
The Diocese of Ballarat declined an interview request. In a statement, Bishop Paul Bird said the church community accepts legal liability when we have been negligent in fulfilling our responsibilities. Even when we are not legally liable, we provide assistance to those harmed by church personnel and have placed all our financial reserves at the service of the healing of victim survivors. Bishop Bird says he does not support the proposed changes. Joanna Woodburn, ABC News.